Hi, I'm Greg Scott, author of Bullseye Breach, a business book disguised as a thriller about how Russian criminals steal 40 million customer credit card numbers from a fictional retailer named Bullseye Stores, right under the noses of people who should have known better. I want to talk to you this time about passwords and passphrases, which might seem like the most boring topic on the planet, but hang with me for a couple minutes and you'll be glad you did, and I'll keep it interesting. We've all heard the advice about keeping complex passwords with upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Turns out that advice is wrong. Passphrases are way better. The slide shows an example of a complex password and a passphrase. See the difference? Which one do you think is easier to remember? If you voted for the passphrase, so did I. And I even broke the complex password rules because my password characters sure aren't random. But are passphrases more secure? Let's find out. Here's the arithmetic for passwords. I'll walk you through it. For complex passwords, let's assume a 100-character alphabet. That includes 26 uppercase characters, 26 lowercase characters, numbers, and some special characters. The actual ASCII character set has 128 characters, but spaces and some of the others don't count. So let's just call it an even 100. Every digit in a password has 100 possibilities. That means the total number of choices in a password with n characters is 100 to the power of n. Every new character multiplies the number of choices by 100. So a 12-character password means 100 to the power of 12 choices, or 1 septillion. That's a 1 followed by 24 zeros, which is a big number, and a brute force attack would sure take a while. What about passphrases? Let's assume a smaller character set this time, say mostly lowercase characters except for the first and last. But let's eliminate spaces and punctuation. That leaves 36 possibilities for every position, 26 letters plus 10 digits. A passphrase will tend to have more positions than a password. So, your mother wears army boots on 2 feet, if you don't count spaces, has 31 positions. Whipping out my calculator, 36 to the power of 31 multiplies out to a number with 49 digits. The exact number is on the slide. Let's round it. We'll call it 1.8 quindecillion, or 1 followed by 48 digits. Now, you've heard people talk about how something is 100 times more powerful or 1,000,000 times larger. A 31-position passphrase is about a septillion times tougher to guess than a traditional 12-character password. A septillion is a trillion times a trillion. If arithmetic freaks you out, here's all you need to know. Passphrases wipe the floor with complex passwords in the arithmetic contest. Let's have some fun with big numbers. First, there are about 930 undecillion years in 36 to the power of 31 seconds. The arithmetic's right there on the slide. Now, let's say we brute force guess at that passphrase, and we guess it 1,000 times a second. And let's say it'll take about half the number of choices to find the right one. Multiply it all out. That comes out to about 465 decillion years. A decillion is a 1 followed by 33 zeros. We think the universe is about 15 billion years old. Now, I'm a Christian, and I know many of my friends believe the universe is only 6,000 years old, but hear me for a second. A brute force attack against that 31-character passphrase with 1,000 guesses every second will take about 31 sextillion universe lifetimes. Give or take a few quintillion. That's universe lifetimes. Here's where reality kicks in. My friends tell me, and rightly so, that my passphrase doesn't have random characters. In fact, if you know a few letters, you can figure out the rest of them, kind of like the TV Wheel of Fortune game. All right, point taken. But the same thing is true for strong passwords. Be honest, it's just you and me here. Do you really use random letters, numbers, and special characters in your passwords? I didn't think so. Any way you look at it, passphrases eat passwords for lunch, and passphrases are way easier to remember than passwords. Here's some more reality. Attackers don't do brute force attacks because brute force attacks take so long. Attackers use dictionaries. Well, great. How do they get their dictionaries? They buy them from other attackers after the other attackers hack social media sites, which means they have dictionaries for millions of common passwords. Back in 2012, somebody attacked LinkedIn and stole a few million passwords. Those are in today's dictionaries. The same thing will happen with passphrases. So just like we don't want you to use easy-to-guess passwords, we also don't want you to use easy-to-guess passphrases. Here are a few bad ones on the slide. Since I used "your mother wears army boots" as an example in this presentation, don't use that as your passphrase. And don't use a passphrase that mimics those worthless security questions. Here are a few good ones. I've never heard of anyone named Horton Hassenpfeffer. You know, a passphrase with a couple of your private slang words might be good too. Greg is a gigantic goonfarb might work. I don't think there's any such word as goonfarb in the official language. Well, great. Now what? If you're a website operator, get rid of those annoying, complex password requirements. Encourage passphrases instead. Easier for me to remember, harder to crack, more secure for all of us. How about it, guys? And I need to leave you with one final warning. Buy your copy of Bullseye Breach today, but don't start reading until a Friday afternoon, because once you start, you won't be able to put it down, and that gives you the whole weekend to recover from jet lag after you're up all night reading. And if you like what you read, please leave me a nice review on Amazon and all the other online review sites. Authors use those reviews to build credibility so we can keep writing. And thanks for putting up with my amateur narration.